Hello guys, got a sunny day and I'm about to try the ND filters. I threw on an ND60 filter, which is my standard go-to ND filter. It's quite sunny, but it's winter, so it's low and flat sun. So let's see if I can dial in the camera settings, which is a bit hard to do on the O3 camera. Once again, I like their nice cases. Here we got the 8, 16, 32 and 64 NDs. First we take a look at the 2.7K 60 4x3 frame in the 4K frame here. Ungraded in the Cinelog colors and without cropping and so forth. And here once again the same scenes with a bit of color grading. You cannot get too much out of the dynamic range that is often been criticized with this camera. But for a zero weight camera, as I consider it to be, it looks pretty good to me. Okay, this was a really nice flight. I got 12 minutes out of a 5-inch copter with this 2200 pack 6S. I like how much flight time I get because I didn't have to use a GoPro. And when it comes to the settings, fix ISO to not higher than 400, I'd say, but this will give you a hard time flying in the darker areas. 2.7K 60 to have 4x3. The mode is to manual, ISO will be automatic and it will not go higher than 400. The shutter is at 120s, so double the frame rate. Exposure value is grayed out. The white balance to manual and to 7000K. That's just my preferred settings. But I limited ISO on 400, so it wouldn't go super grainy. But that's also something that prevented me from flying in the garage where it's dark. It wouldn't increase the light level in there and I would have crashed. For my second flight I have everything on auto and the exposure value to 0.7 and no ND filter. Okay, an important problem I saw when not using the ND filter with this copter, and you might have the same problem, is quite a lot of cello. While down throttling a bit, low RPMs, higher vibrations, ugly cello. Should consider the ND filters again for eliminating the cello effect. Finally here I flew with 4K 60 and 16:9 with an ND16 filter and 120 shutter. So the settings that I found to be nice, and it really worked like a charm. And flying in 16:9, I already said, this has something for me. The whole vision is filled with glorious HD feeling. So, and it's not even real HD on my goggles version 2, but it's way more than I could ask for. So I'm really happy with the O3. It gives me nice quality, and only like you see here in the flying down where I have some shakes, you get kind of blurry background and micro stutter, so the Rocksteady comes to its limitations here a bit. But also this tree surfing turned out really nice. I like it a lot. Bear in mind that the light we have
It looks magical, but it's also quite hard for the cameras with this mist and the low sun. But yeah, this is a nice surprise. What a really old American truck we have next to our house. This is an example where I set the ISO to 400, shutter to 120s, and yeah, it looks okay in some situations, but it was in the afternoon and ISO 400 was not good enough. So if you're not sure about the light, set the maximum to ISO 800 maybe and have it on automatic ISO settings. But still, I kind of like the footage that I got from this flight. But without GPS, this was quite frightening. Yeah, and then I had a weird problem with SD card too slow. No, it doesn't show it on the OSD like on the old Air units, but to my surprise, I found an onboard recording that just skipped frames, massively skipped frames, and on the next try I just flew with a better SD card. The green one, the old Samsung, is just too slow compared to the red, black SanDisk Extreme. You see these crystal disk marks. They look really fast in the first two tests, but somewhere between the second and the third test, you see, depending on how the Air unit really writes, does it write in larger blocks or in smaller blocks, the write speed goes down dramatically. 2.7K 60 gives you 10.9 megabytes per second of write speed. Well, it needs this amount. And 4K 60 even needs 12.5 megabytes per second. Just use a fast SD card, they are not too expensive anymore.
Okay, I hope you liked this video. Consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up. Check out my Patreon page. Thanks again Freewell for sending the free and well ND filters for the review. I'm not sure if I will use the higher one, so if you want to save, maybe you can just get the ND16. For me, that's the ND filter that I use the most. Only, let's say if you want to fly in the mountains with snow, then you should go really high, like 32 or 64 even. Then it makes total sense. And yeah, if you use my settings, I think you can get quite decent results from the O3. And it totally renewed my ages-old Sector5. It feels like a new quad now with the fancy OSD and with nice 3D printed parts. Yeah. I love this aspect as well. So now this almost feels like my Chimera 7. It just lacks the GPS, which I might install later. So really nice. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.